Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late July 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always. Let's start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Virgos in late July? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo. Late July. We're getting pretty close to your birthday, my good friends. I hope you're making plans. But let's see what the vibe is here. Let's see what the energy is for my Virgos, please. Quick, super, super quick. Okay, keeping up. Now, for some of you, I feel like this could be a mixed bag. For a portion of you, if you are going through some sort of process, this could be good. It's like, all right, I'm keeping pace. Like the energy seems to be okay. I like it for that, but this also feels like an energy where it's like, I wish there was more I can do. So it's either very, very busy and trying to scramble, or it's like an energy that's trying to catch up. It's like bizarre how it's initially showing up. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this beautiful card. I love the color scheme we have going on here. But yeah, I do read these more intuitively, so I did give you that first little message about keeping up for some of you. Yeah, maybe you're on a good pace. Maybe things are going okay. Maybe things are going better than you think they are when I see this. As long as you don't feel like you're falling behind, or it's like, oh, I should be making more progress, or oh, I should feel much better by now. Like there's just something here about holding oneself to a certain standard, which I know some Virgos tend to do. Nothing wrong with that, right? It's good to have certain standards, especially for oneself. But there's also this other energy here, especially since she's holding a clock, that time could be important with whatever situations you're going through. So whether it's not wasting time, maybe you're waiting on something, maybe something's waiting on you. It all really depends. But I always say people experience time in different ways. Sometimes a day feels like it's crawling and taking forever. Sometimes it goes really quick. So I feel like there's just a lot of energy packed into this card. I think for a lot of you, it's good. But for some of you, it's just something about like the perceived standards that you're holding yourself to. We're just going to leave it at that for now. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card there, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for my Virgos. What's happening? And yeah, while we get this shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Surprising Change. Okay. And I always say changes come in all different shapes and sizes. And this one felt like it came out of nowhere, like something like shifted quick, or just whether it was a person or a situation. So if that didn't happen, keep your head on a swivel for the next couple weeks, because there could be energies that are like very much prone to shift, even if they seem reliable. But we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards from my Virgo friends. Let's get them going. What do we have here? Thank you. All right, cool. Lovers. It's a good card. And again, if you're not watching this for any relationship dynamics, that's totally fine, because this card has a lot more depth than just romance and love. I mean, but if you are watching this for romance and love, this could be pretty clutch. Let's get a couple more. Let's get a couple more here. I do like it. It's a healing type of card. 2 of Pentacles. All right, getting a little bit of a theme here. Love me the 2 of Pentacles, especially right in the center of the spread. Let's get one more. Let's see what's happening here for Virgo. Thank you. Knight of Wands. Okay. Big action right here on the back end. So I like the mixture of energies that I have so far. It seems like it could go well. The only thing I'm really keeping an eye on is this Knight of Wands here on the back end, because I'm like, all right, what are you doing over there, my friend? What are you doing back there? But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, you know, I always like the elements because it tells me how the energy is moving and flowing. And we have a good mixture here. There's not too much of one thing. We have air right here with the lovers, big Gemini energy. We have earth, your comfort zone, your comfort element, and then we have fire right here on the back. They all represent different things, different modes, different areas of life. So it's like we have action, we have movement, we have that internal combustion, then we have like the stability, the predictable, the routine, and then right here it's very cerebral, mental stimulation. So it's going to be intriguing to see how it all plays together. Because again, these could be separate things, separate areas of life, or they could be different aspects of the same thing. But let's go through piece by piece and really start to build it out. So position number one, we're starting with a pretty good card. We have the Lovers. Notice it has the Archangel Raphael there. Now, first and foremost, this could represent a very important person you're connected to. Doesn't have to be just love. It could be like a best friend. It could be someone you're related to that you just get each other. This could be a big soul bond type of energy, and I really like the Lovers for that. But back in the day, this card used to be called the Choice. Okay, so it has similarities to this Two of Pentacles, where it's like, all right, I'm at a crossroads. I could go left or I could go right. So some Virgos, you may be at a crossroads of some kind. Uh, we could be looking at the energy of a person, especially when we clarify it, like who you're thinking about or who you're connected to, of course. But this card also has big undertones of healing, especially with Archangel Raphael. So whether it's emotional healing, physical healing, this is a really good, smooth, easy flowing card normally. So again, we need the detail to see. And when we get to the challenge of the Lovers, sometimes this could represent something that's still bothering you, something that seems to still be sticking around. There could be a person you're connected to where it's like, all right, it's a soul type, but we're just not seeing eye to eye. Maybe someone you're connected to is going through a bit of a tough one. It depends, right? It all depends on the surrounding cards and energy. Now, as we move to the middle, we have the beautiful Two of Pentacles. And just like all cards, it has positives, it has some challenges, nothing wrong with that. But right here in the center, you see him balancing those Two Pentacles, where it's like, okay, everything is coming into a state of harmony. So at first glance, I'm like, all right, I like this card because it's harmonious, it's balanced, especially in the realms of like work, finance, and money. You could be seeing big improvements in that realm. I do also say that this card has some undertones of karmic energy, universal energy, because there is an infinity symbol on the card. So I like it for the harmonious aspects. Now, this can also represent decisions. This could also represent choices. This could also represent being at a crossroads. So we have two crossroads cards showing up here where it's like, all right, we're coming up to a section where it could go this way or that way, which can be concerning sometimes, but I like the energy so far. The Two of Pentacles can also be very busy because notice the person is juggling. So it's like, all right, I got a lot on my plate. I got a lot on my mind. So for a lot of Virgos, that can most definitely be the case. Either you're keeping yourself busy or there's just a lot on your plate here, mentally, emotionally, in the physical world. It all really depends. And obviously, a big challenge with this card could represent imbalance, something that's just off. Like, I don't know why it's off. So we'll have to take a much closer look at that. Now, moving to the back end, we have a bit of a wild card. Okay, and I've been feeling it since the very beginning because this energy here in the front, yeah, it feels good. It looks calm. It seems pretty serene. Um, Textbook type of energy. Then we get the Knight of Wands. Now, for a portion of you, you might be connected to a fire sign. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Knights represent action. They represent movement, and they're also messengers, communicators, similar to pages. And this knight is one of the fastest ones. It's him and the Knight of Swords. They're shooting around, they're zipping around, they're doing a whole bunch of stuff. Now, for some of you, this can represent your energy levels. So maybe you're feeling a burst of energy and confidence. That could be a good thing. Maybe you're feeling a little bit down. I guess it depends on which Virgo I'm talking to here. No judgment either way. And I do like the Knight of Wands for getting things done. That's a really nice thing, or some sort of communication. But the thing that's a challenge with this Knight, uh, it could most definitely be very volatile, could be a little unexpected, could be a little explosive in its ways. And that's a big thing with a lot of the Wands cards where it's like, okay, this is intense. I don't know which way it's going to go, or I don't know what to expect next. This could be an energy that intensifies really, really quick. So we want to see what's up with him, that's for sure. Sometimes it could represent a person that's like very outgoing, boisterous, life of the party type, fills a room. But we don't have to assign him to a specific individual. I want to dive deeper on all of it, though, Virgo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle here for you. What is happening for my Virgos, please? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Lovers. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, let's get them lovers going. Why are the lovers here? My Virgo friends. Oh, okay. King of Wands reverse, huh? Okay, watch very very closely for changes in people around you. That's like the big vibe, and it kind of connects to what I was seeing last week, because all that stuff I was saying about the Knight of Wands, the unpredictability, when I see the King of Wands in reverse, it's very much the same. Now I will say this for some of you, this doesn't have to be a challenge, this doesn't have to be a bad thing. When I see the King of Wands in reverse, especially under the Lovers, it's like I feel a certain way and I can't help but feel that way. It's like I can't fight my feelings. It's like giving me that kind of energy, which is really peculiar, which could be good for some of you. It could be a little rough, but then there's this fact that it's very unpredictable. So I feel like it could be a little warning. I guess it depends on what happens towards the back, but there could be people around you, whether friends, family, or otherwise, where it's like, oh, what's changed? Like you're acting a little different. Like there's something different in the energy. And we're going to see if we could try to pin that down and see what it is. Because usually the King of Wands, like if he comes up in the upright, he's controlled, he's doing this, he's taking action. When he's in reverse, he's just very unpredictable and could also be a little confused. So watch out for confusion in connections with those closest to us. That could also be another thing. But we're just going to keep moving. I don't think it's like the whole make or break point of the reading. It's just telling me either these are feelings where it's like I just can't help how I feel. It's how I feel, and it's how I feel. Or it's someone around you that could be acting a little different. And I usually know that Virgos are very keen on changes around them and the people they're connected to. So like your radar might start going off. Let's see what's up with the Two of Pentacles. What's happening? So why is the Two of Pentacles here? And yeah, this could also just be an energy that it's just there. Like it's not going nowhere. So let's see what's up with that two. Why is that Two of Pentacles here? The King of Cups in reverse. Very, very up and down with this energy. Okay, notice, and something I'm going to mention here. Kings in tarot, remember I was saying about the knight that they represent action and messages and talking. Kings represent control of their suit. So when I see this, there's a change. And then when I see the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups, in reverse underneath the Two of Pentacles, it is very, very hot and cold, very up and down, back and forth. There's like big extremes. So I would say in this time, this could most definitely be an emotional warning for somebody or even yourself. That's how it's presenting, because I have this energy that seems a little confused, seems a little unsure. Then this one, it's like, but one day I feel like this, the next I feel like that. Now, again, it doesn't have to just be connected to a person. This could be life in general, where it's like one day you're feeling great, on top of the world, very confident. Then the next day, it's like the total opposite. It's like a roller coaster. So I do feel like this is an emotional warning here in the center, especially with the King of Cups in reverse underneath that Two of Pentacles. This could be someone that's really trying their best to recover in one way or another, where it's like, I'm just trying to catch my footing, trying to get solid ground beneath me. So there is energy here of like attempting to recover as well. There's a lot of stuff coming through, but the energy to me just feels very, very hot and cold. So watch out for very complex situations too. That's like another vibe I'm getting, because that's usually the cause of energy like this, where we're dealing with a situation or multiple situations that are very layered, very complex. So there could be various situations popping up. Let's move over to the Knight of Wands. And again, a lot of people now too, especially with the kings and that. I was seeing it in the Capricorn reading as well. For some reason, the earth signs are just flooded by the energy of other people this week. So this could all not be yours. This could just be someone else's for all I know. Let's see what's up with that Knight of Wands. Why is he here? For my Virgo friends, please. Thank you. I mean, this energy. So it's very intense. We have the Death card in the upright. Don't get too nervous about that. Um, this to me feels like an energy that gets frustrated to the point where they're like, you know what, screw it. It's like giving me that kind of idea where it kind of gets a little bit reckless here on the back end. So again, I'm not saying it's you, but Scorpio, right? That's a big Scorpio indicator. The Death card usually represents change, transformation. And I always say, don't get nervous about this card. I remember we were seeing the change and transformation last week, and with all these extremes and ups and downs, I feel like these energies they can't be permanent. Like it's an energy that it's not sustainable, if that makes sense. So when I see the Knight of Wands with the Death card, it's like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to enjoy myself. Or you know what, screw it. I'm. I don't want to say it's an energy that says I don't care. It just feels very reckless to me. So again, there is more of a warning back here where someone or something might reach a point of frustration where it's like, you know what, screw it, whatever happens, happens. That's how it feels to me. Now, for another portion of you, the death card can represent the close of a chapter, the end of something. So, again, I'm not sure if you're processing something like that. With the Knight of Wands and this, it's like, yeah, it's over. It's like I'm turning the page on something. So, we'll have to see. But to me, it's not so much like really pointing at an ending as it's pointing to someone just getting to a point where they're like, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy myself. Screw it. Whatever happens, happens, and it does feel a little reckless. So I think it ties into this warning we have here in the center about someone being very hot and cold. Um, I think for a lot of you, this could be someone else because normally Virgo energy doesn't present like this. But let's go through and do a quick recap. And then we'll get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, position number one, we have the Lovers with the King of Wands in the upright. So I feel potentially someone around you, you could be noticing a change in them where it's like, all right, did we switch timelines? Did you change overnight? Like I sense something in the air. So there's like a really keen sense of someone potentially like something being wrong or feeling it. That's just the vibe I'm getting here in the front. Someone might be acting in very unpredictable ways as well. For a small portion of you, these could just be feelings that you have or that you're having where it's like, I just can't help it. And speaking of that, as we move to the center, we have the Two of Pentacles with the King of Cups in reverse. I did say this is an emotional warning. It's very up and down. It's very extreme. It's hot and cold. There's not a lot of gray area here. So watch out for that, like energies where it's like from day to day, I'm feeling like completely different people. Not saying it's you. Again, it could be someone else, especially with all these other indicators. And then we get to the back end, the Knight of Wands with the Death card in the upright. Sure, it could be an ending or a close of a chapter, but the main thing I'm feeling here is someone reaching a point of frustration or reaching a place where they're like, you know, screw it. I'm just going to enjoy myself, or I'm just going to do what I want. What's the point? It's like very reckless. So I do feel like this warning here um, is important. I do, because this energy feels just super reckless to me. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, Virgo. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge; they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Virgo? What is happening? Thank you. The Fool card, it ties into what I was feeling there on the back end. Now, if this is a warning for you, this could be Spirit saying, like, hey, watch out for urges in this time. Now, the Fool, big Aries energy, has a lot of similarities to our good pal there on the back end. And the Fool is usually nice, whereas this card's a card of an ending. This one is a beginning. It's like, yeah, I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling new. But remember, we're looking at the shadow side of the Fool. And the Fool can sometimes do things without thinking them through. Act first, ask questions later. So in this time, I feel like it's really important not to just act on urges, not to I think you need to think things through, whatever it is you're going through and whatever it is you're doing, like a cautious approach, very important, especially with this Fool here, because it does feel a little wild to me. It feels a little reckless. So again, whether it's you or another person, just know that the energy's in the air. It feels very unpredictable to me. Does that mean it's going to be worst case scenario? Absolutely not. But it is showing up here in multiple places. So just keep that in mind in the short term. Reckless is not the way to go. Think things through. So we're just going to leave it at that, Virgo. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. My digital calendar's over there, so you could go check out availability. But for the July subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my most favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. It's beautiful, it's unique, and it definitely fits the season. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, and second, let me know down in the comments For all the uses that tarot has to offer, which do you think is best? Do you like using it for love situations, personal, financial, business, you name it? You put it in the comments, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.